Hi everyone, it's Julia, your travel expert from Matheson Travel, coming to you live from Ljubljana, where you can see all kinds of people sitting out by the river having their dinner, and that's what I've just done. And it dovetails really nicely with what I wanted to talk about this week, which is something I realized back in Italy last week, and that's about food. And that's about going local and eating as the locals do. And it's something that I think really can enhance your travel experience, because, if you're at all like me, will fully confess that I'm an extremely picky eater. Maybe a recovering picky eater because I really have tried very hard in the last 10 years or so, partly through my travel experiences, to broaden my horizons. And it's something that I know is really difficult for a lot of people. I mean, it's difficult for me to sit down and not know what things are and not know how they're going to taste and order them. But here's the thing. If you travel around Europe and you order a hamburger or even a pizza, it's just not going to be as good. If you think about the way we eat in America, generally breakfast is, coffee and maybe bacon and eggs, or maybe you eat a lighter breakfast. Well, here it's pretty much coffee and a croissant, or a little piece of bread. That's it. Done. And then you move on to lunch, and we generally, if I have a turkey sandwich or a salad or, something kind of lighter, they kind of eat bigger lunches. I mean, there are places where you can get little sandwiches or something, but generally it's a 2 or 3 course lunch, with a meat or a pasta, depending on where you are in Europe. And then dinner, again, it's what I'm trying to get at is that you really should try and just forget the way you eat at home. Just forget what you typically have and really focus on what they do in whatever country you're in. Focus on the local food. When I was in Bologna, you better just be 100% sure that I got, some pasta bolognese, because that's where it's from. My aunt that was traveling with me, she hasn't been to Italy in 20 some years or something like that. And, she didn't like the pizzas. She was expecting sort of a New York style pizza with lots of tomato sauce and a flexible, no, that's not what they do. They get an individual pizza that you cut with a knife and fork with like kind of tougher crust that I think is delicious. Not a lot of tomato sauce. Again, right up my alley. It's not what we get in America as pizza. And that's okay, and it's good, and you just have to be aware that things are going to be different. You may see hamburgers and pizza everywhere you go, but, that's not what you're going to order. I mean, for example, tonight I said, look, I want to eat Slovenian, and everything on the traditional Slovenian menu was mushrooms and truffles and like prosciutto, and I've had lots of prosciutto, and I don't particularly like truffles or mushrooms, so I said, let's compromise. And so I had these amazing, they were called cheese dumplings. They were ridiculously amazing, and it was covered in a mushroom sauce, but I just didn't eat the mushrooms, and the sauce was still very good. And then we compromised because I didn't want the truffle this or that, but I also didn't want to just get like a pasta or a risotto, which they also have, because Slovenia is very close to Italy, so they have a lot of Italian influences in their food. And instead I got a local duck dish that was really good. So I just really want to encourage you to give the local food a try. And in Europe, that's actually a lot easier than in Asia, where really it's, unless you live in a cosmopolitan city in the US, you're going to be trying some very different food. So as a first step, when you're in Europe, eat what the locals are eating. Try the local delicacies, the local specialties, and you will generally find some delicious stuff. And that's it for this week, and I will talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.